Hello students, welcome to our online classes. I hope that all of you are good and healthy. Today I am going to start new chapter, the regional kingdoms from history. This is chapter 2 of class 7. In this chapter we will discuss about the various kingdoms in North India, administration during this period, the kingdoms of Deccan and the South India, and also Turkish kingdoms. So before starting this chapter, let's discuss about the heading, the regional kingdoms. Kingdom means a country that is ruled by king or queen. Let's start today's topic. The regional kingdoms. By the 7th century, big landlords and warriors gained great importance and were called samantas. So, warriors mean a person who fight in battle, basically a soldier. So, in 7th century, the big landlords and the soldiers gained great importance and they are known as samantas. These samantas collect taxes and control over the region, provide military and give to the kings. So what is the duty of samantas? They collect taxes and control the region by providing military, and they also give to the kings. As these samantas gain power and wealth, they declare themselves as Mahasamantas and Mahamandaleshwar, and sometime independent rulers. For example, Chalukya in the Deccan. So, as these Samantas gained more and more power and wealth, they declared themselves as Mahasamantas or Mahamandaleshwar. And in some areas, they declared himself as independent rulers like Chalukyas in the Deccan. North India. The word Rajput comes from Sanskrit word Rajputras, which means a son of king. At peak, the Rajput Empire extended from Haryana to Ajmer and from Jaipur in the east to Jodhpur in the west. So, Rajput word comes from Sanskrit word Rajputra, which means a son of king, and historians have different opinions regarding their origin. Some believe that they were the descendants of Central Asian tribes that settled in India after the Hun invasion. So, at the peak, Rajput Empire extended from Haryana to Ajmer and Jaipur in the east and Jodhpur in the west. In North India, Prithviraj Chauhan, the best known ruler, was legendary Prithviraj Chauhan. He ascended the throne in 1177 AD. Ascended means to become king or queen. Ascended the throne means to become king or queen. So Prithviraj Chauhan, the best known ruler is Prithviraj Chauhan, and he became king in 1177 AD. His life was described by the poet Chandra. His life has immortalized by the poet Chandra in his famous poem Prithviraj Raso. In the poem, Chandra described how Prithviraj Chauhan loved and abducted the daughter of Raja Jayachandra of Kannauj. In 1191 AD, he defeated Muhammad Ghori and the Turkish invader in the first battle of Tarai, but was defeated in the second battle. So this second battle is believed to be a turning point in the history of India. Now, Tomars of Delhi. The Tomars founded the city of Dillika, which is presently known as Delhi, in the 8th century. Later, the Chauhan annexed it into their kingdom. Annexed means to take control over a region by force. Now, Solankis of Gujarat. We are discussing about North Indian kingdoms. So, Solankis were also known as Chalukyas of Gujarat. Siddharaja was their most powerful ruler. The Dilwara temples of Mount Abu and the Sun Temple of Mohdar, Gujarat were built by Solanki rurals. So, the most powerful rural is Siddharaja, and Dilwara temple and Sun temple were built by the Solanki rurals. And the Tomars founded the city which is now known as Delhi, and at that time this city is known as Dillika. Parmars of Malwa. The Parmars of Malwa ruled from their capital at Dhar near Indore. They became famous in the time of Raja Bhoj. Raja Bhoj was not only a great warrior means soldiers, but also a famous scholar and patron of literature. He was defeated and killed by the neighboring rurals. Who was defeated and killed by the neighboring rurals? Raja Bhoj, which was the greatest ruler. Now, Chandels of Bundelkhand. The Chandels has their empire between Yamuna and Narmada rivers. And Khajuraho was the capital of Chandel rulers. The capital of Chandels? Khajuraho. Kirtivarman was the most powerful ruler of this dynasty. So, who was the most powerful ruler of this dynasty? Kirtivarman. Next one is the Palas. In AD 750, the people elected one Gopala as their ruler. His son Dharmpal founded the Pala dynasty. The Pala kingdom grew to include present-day Bengal, Bihar and Odisha, now known as Odisha. The Pala king Mahipal was defeated by Chol king Rajendra Chol in 1023 AD. The Palas follow Buddhism religion, and Dharmpal established the Vikramshila and patronaged the University of Nalanda. Patronage means especially a financial support that is given to a person by a patron. Patron means a sanrakshak, we can say a important person. So Chandels has their empire between Yamuna and Narmada rivers, and their capital is Khajuraho, the most powerful ruler of this dynasty. Dynasty means a series of rulers who were from same family. So Kirtivarman is the most powerful ruler, and Dharmpal founded the Pal dynasty, and the Pala kingdom grew into include the present day Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. And Mahipal was defeated by Chol king Rajendra Chol, and the Palas follow which religion? Buddhism. Dharmpal established the Vikramshila and patronized the University of Nalanda. Next dynasty is Gurjar and Pratihars. The Gurjar Pratihars ruled over a part of Rajasthan and Gujarat, and Palas ruled over a part of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. The most powerful ruler was Bhoj. He conquered Kannauj and made it his capital. So the capital of Gurjar Pratihar is Kannauj. Mahmud of Ghazni defeated the Pratihar ruler. And soon the dynasty came to an end. Now, let's discuss about the administration during this period. This period means the period of North Kingdom, North Indian kingdoms. The king. The king was the supreme authority and was also known as Prambhatrak and Maharaja Dhiraj. And the most important minister was known as Mahamantri. The he was the king was the commander in chief of the army and was assisted by the council of ministers who advised him on various matters. The most important minister was known as Mahamantri. Each department had separate ministers heads such as संधि का हेड कौन होता था? संधि विग्रिका फॉरेन मिनिस्टर, कोतपाल इंस्पेक्टर ऑफ फोर्ट्स मतलब उनका जो किंगडम होता था जहाँ किंग्स रहते थे, उनका जो हाउस ऑफ द किंग वी कैन से. अक्षपतालिका रेवेन्यू मिनिस्टर, महाप्रतिहार गार्ड ऑफ द रॉयल पैलेस, महासेनापति commander of the army, and Rajpurohit, the royal priest. And the kingdom was divided into units called bhuktis, which are further divided into vishyas. So this is all about the king and their kingdom. Village and town administration. The village was the basic unit of administration and the headman was known as Grampati. Grampati carried out administrative responsibility. So this is all about village and town administration, in which the basic unit of administration and the village was the basic unit of administration and the headman was known as Grampati. Law and order issues were addressed by the Kotwal. Military organization. The North Indian kingdoms have a strong infantry and maintain a large number of war elephants. Infantry means the soldiers who fight on foot, which means Padal Sena. And social life, the caste system like Brahman, Rajput, which is also known as Kshatriyas, Vash, traders and merchants came into existence. Sati and child marriage were practiced and polygamy was also common. So in social life, the caste system was there, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudras, and Sati and child marriage were practiced and polygamy was also common. Polygamy means the custom of having more than one wife, means Bahupatni marriage, Bahupatni Vivah. So polygamy भी वहाँ पे popular था. Economy. Agriculture was the main occupation and they started trade with China, Southeast Asia and the Western world. So agriculture इस kingdom का main occupation था और इन्होंने trade कहाँ से शुरू किया था? From China, Southeast Asia and Western world. Main items of export were spices, textiles, precious stones, while the import items are horses, precious stones and metals. Merchants operate through shrenis. Now what is shrenis? Shrenis is association of traders, merchants and artisans. So agriculture was main occupation and they export spices, textiles and precious stone and imports the horses, precious stones and metals. So this is all about today's topic. In today's topic, we discuss about the North Indian kingdoms, Rajputs, in Rajputs, Prithviraj Chauhan, Tomars of Delhi, Solankis of Gujarat, Parmars of Malwa, Chandels of Bundelkhand, the Palas, and the Gurjar and Pratihars, and also administration during this period. In next video, we will discuss about the Deccan rurals, Rajputas, Chalukyas, Pallavas, Pandyas, and Turkish invasion. Thank you, students.